Okay, Coach, what can you say? But you like the bubble. It was a nice weekend, 4 wins, and again, you had a nice effort from your team all the way through.
And granted, we're facing NAI opponents, but well-coached teams. I think we saw everyone's ace in the games against us, which was good. So I thought we actually faced some decent pitching and put a lot of runs up. So it was good for us morale-wise, and just I guess the gratification comes with working hard. So we've been practicing well. It was good to see that show up. Really happy with the base running. I think we tied our D2 record, so all the kids are eager to see who can break it next time out, and we're a quarter of the way through the season. So really happy with it. Our identity as a fast team that's showing up, and overall just a fun weekend.
So you're throwing solid, so then you got that, and then how about offensively? Then are you seeing what you like there too, or?
Yeah, we juggled the lineup a little bit. I like the adjustments. We put Maggie Mercer and Kara Schwalik in the 6-7 spot, putting two slappers together to create some chaos in front of one another. I like that. Lauren de Guzman responded really well at the top of the lineup. So we, every once in a while kind of look at numbers and reshuffle things a little bit based on OPS and on base percentage. And I was pretty happy with the way we turned the lineup over. Again, we have some kids that are a little bit rusty, but we're drawing a few more walks, which was good. A little more patience at the plate. And again, I thought we made some good late game adjustments against rise balls and things like that. So overall, really happy with the offense.
How much do you want to get outside and just get out of the bubble?
I drove past South Hill Complex yesterday just to check it out. There's a little snow out there, but hey, we might be able to get out and practice here and there. I'm not sure. I don't really have control over that, but we're going to be close. Temperatures in the 50s. It might not. Anyone from this area knows. We'll take it. We might get walloped with a storm at some point in March, but I think right now it's the kids are in dorm life right now too. You get more sunlight, and just kind of breaks up the monotony a little bit. But it reminds the kids of where we're headed. So 2.5 good weeks of practice, and then we head down to Missouri. A chance to get back out in the sun and play outside on dirt. So that's the next stage we're working towards.
A lot less errors this weekend. Do you think that's more of the girls getting used to playing in the bubble, or do you think they're finally converting on some of those aggressive plays?
I think it's more a case of just converting, and we had the previous week had some just uncharacteristic errors. I think it was more about nerves and just being over anxious than anything else. It's really practice level. We've looked great. So it's kind of nice to see. I think a team that calmed down a little bit and sort of trusted their preparation. I think that's really what we saw as much as anything. So that's really what we've been seeing day in and day out in practice. So it was good to see that finally show up. But speaking of the dome, we spent a lot of time working on machine ground balls with more topspin, things like that. So we're really, I think, very much concerned about that jump to dirt in 3 weeks, because I know a lot of teams, just coming from Minnesota, you see a lot of teams start to play higher and higher. Right, infielders play higher and higher because of the big dome hops, and we want to just combat that on a daily basis so that transition's easier for us. Yeah.
One key offensive performance from the weekend was Isis Cabral. She hit over 600 on the weekend, a couple home runs. She earned NSIC Position Player of the Week. After her year off last year from softball, what have you seen from her, and what have you liked from her so far this year?
It's been really fun to watch. I mean, first of all, she's a kid that doesn't take her opportunities for granted. She plays with a sense of grace every time she steps in the field. On top of that, she's worked her tail off in the weight room. She's gained significant size and strength. We've changed her swing mechanics to help her elevate the ball a little more. And she's really a different kid than the kid I coached against and tried to prepare for, 3 years ago. So it's been fun to watch, just all of it. I mean, she's running well. She's hitting the ball with a lot of power, but most of it just has a presence in the box. Like, she's having fun and expects to drive a ball. Really every pitch. So I think that's had a good influence on our younger kids too. Just kind of watching. We talk about having a presence at the plate, and that's what it looks like. And they can look at that paradigm, that model, day in and day out. So she's just been a tremendous teammate, just a tremendous influence on all of us.
How did that conversation go when she said she wanted to come back to the team?
Well, I knew her just at a distance as a player. Had a great reputation as a player. I knew athletically what she was. I think it was a matter of just finding a way for her to come back and make it work culture-wise. But as I've gotten to know her, she's just a tremendous kid, tremendous individual. So she's grown up a lot. I think she's probably an unrecognizable kid from the one that stepped on campus 4 years ago. But her maturity, you see it in the classroom. She's a 4.0 student. It seems like she's triple majoring. She's taken so many classes, but she just does everything at a really high level of excellence. Holds herself to incredibly high standards. So it's just a great success story for this program and for the school.
How about Coach? Now you mentioned that 2.5, 3 weeks off. How do you combat that and not get a letdown going back in outdoors?
Yeah, one thing, try to stoke the fires of competition. So everything we do in practice, there's always kind of punishment reward to drills. Have the kids really working against one another. Outfield versus infield, offense against defense, pitchers against hitters. I really try to cultivate that. So we build in a lot of competition. I think that helps. But also the kids are also they're eager to just get grounded and go back to fundamentals a little bit. I know particularly pitchers, some things have kind of gotten out of whack a little bit. I think kids are looking for the time and space to go back and kind of work spins, get the rise ball spinning, on a 6 to 12 axis, things like that. So they're on one hand they're eager to get back to sort of the base of the pyramid, but also try to keep them sharp competitively. Just that's the way this time of year when you're kind of trapped indoors. The more competition, the more fun practice is in a lot of ways because kids do love to compete, and so we'll try to cultivate that as much as we can.
Going back to this last weekend, to end your weekend, you played Valley City and got down to an early 3-0 deficit, had to come back from that, and that was a bit of a different game compared to some of the other ones on the weekend that you kind of dominated offensively.
Right.
So what was it like to end the weekend with arguably your toughest test?
Yeah, and they can really hit. I mean, that's a well-coached team over there. And their number one pitcher is a decent change-up and a pretty good rise. And she just kept us off balance, changed speeds well. So kind of a quirky motion. It just took us a while, really, third time through the lineup to kind of center the ball against her and make some adjustments in the box. But I knew they could hit. It's a little technical, but they tend to have a very flat barrel, a flat attack angle. So they're really tough. They tend to keep the barrel in the zone a long time. It's really hard to pitch. And honestly, with our pitching staff, we just didn't have a great movement pitch matchup against them. So looking at that game, I know that team pretty well. So I've coached there a little bit, and I know a lot of the Minnesota kids in that roster. So going in, I knew that was going to be a tough one. So I was happy with the resilience and just kind of stuck with it and found a way. But that was a terrific softball game on both sides.
This last week, it seemed like your team's really coming together and they're having a lot of fun playing together. How's that going to translate when conference season comes around?
I think as much as anything, just kind of sustain it. The kids are eager to get back and just see. Our first game's Mary, so it's a conference rival. If you can't get up for that, can't get up for a softball game. So, that's on the horizon for them. Right now, I think it's just put a good day today and another one tomorrow and another one, and it's really we preach process a lot. Today plus today plus today equals your career, and so really trying to get better this week, and then obviously the MIAA will play the Missouri Western tournament. Our conference hasn't done well of late against it's kind of a rival conference because a number of our teams in Northern Sun go down and play Washburn, Emporia, Missouri Western. They host little tournaments which are really exclusively MIAA and NSIC teams. So it's a little bit of a conference rivalry too. So it's gonna be fun to get down there. And of course, for our group, they got rained out last year, so we haven't had a chance to play Missouri Western and get into that. So I think they're eager for that, eager to travel as a group. It has been fun. We're very cohesive right now, and it's a great time to hit the road. So I think they're looking forward to that on multiple levels.